My name is Linda Bertaut with Chakralicious.com. Today I'm going to teach you how to use a pendulum. What a pendulum does is help you tap into your intuitive side of the brain. We have two sides to our brain. We have the left brain, which is logical and linear. Everything is thought about in a logical linear format. And then we have the right brain, which is receptive and creative and intuitive. We were meant to use both sides of our brain. However, in Western culture, we've really learned to use only our left brain. Everything has to be scientifically proven. If it's, you can't trust your feelings, you can't trust your intuition. And we've been taught that so much that we really forgot how to tap into that intuitive side of our brain. So a pendulum is great for being able to tap back into that intuitive side. I want to talk a little bit about energy because this is how the pendulum works. The colors of nature's rainbow are actually the same as the colors of our inner rainbow, the chakra system. Chakras are like the organs to our subtle energy body, which is what you see here. The subtle energy body feeds our physical body. And because everything is made up of energy, when our energy body is kind of like in this energy soup. So there is universal wisdom available within that energy soup, as I call it. So when we use the pendulum to douse and ask for answers, we're actually tapping into that universal wisdom to be able to receive answers. So it's pretty neat how it works. I know there's some people that will be skeptical about this, but I've been using it for many years and it's been pretty accurate and pretty right on. So the thing you want to do is make sure that you're open-minded about using this. You want to try and clear as much, thought out of your brain as possible and just focus on what you're going to ask. The first thing you need to do is hold your pendulum. You might have maybe 3 or 4 inches long for the chain, and you want it to be able to swing. So the first thing you're going to ask is, show me yes. And then the pendulum will move into a yes direction. Then you're going to say, show me no, and you get a clear no direction. Some people get a more distinct answer for yes and no than others. It's only a matter of practicing. So if you're not getting a good response right away, just work on clearing your mind, because it tends to be the people that are more skeptical that have trouble using a pendulum. But a lot of people can pick up a pendulum and it'll start swinging right away. So your first question or your first statement, show me yes, and then show me no. And now you have a yes and no direction, so you can start asking yes and no questions. So what are you going to ask about? I think some of the simplest things to ask about are about foods for your body, supplements for your body, things that you want to do that are related to you. And I wouldn't do anything related to the future because the energy can change, which means that if you ask a question about the future, it's possibly going to change, and most likely will change later on down the road. And you'll say, well, it said it was going to do this, and then it didn't. So you really don't want to have an emotional attachment to something. You don't want to ask about the future. You want to ask about things that are happening right now. So if I want to find out if a product is good for me to use, either like a skincare product, cosmetics, food, supplements, then I can ask about that. Now, for instance, I know that sodas are not good for me. And I'm lucky that I don't have a craving for them all the time. But once in a while, I like to have one. So if I say to my pendulum, are sodas beneficial to my health? It's going to go into a no direction. Now, it could be, slightly bad. It could be very bad. And I want to find out just how bad it is for me. So if you've purchased a pendulum from me, then you got also an instruction chart. So the instruction chart tells you how to use the pendulum on the front, which we're talking about now, and then on the back, it gives you specific ways to ask the questions. So if I want to find out if sodas are good for my body, it says no. On a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the worst, the most detrimental to my body, please show me, how sodas rank for my body. And I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the most detrimental. So I really shouldn't be drinking any sodas at all. Now there could be something that's only a 1, that's only as bad for me as a 1. And doing that on occasion is not a problem. So that's just one idea of how you can use the pendulum. You might also want to find out if it's beneficial for you to attend a certain class or go to a certain place, or if you have a choice between 2 things, which one's more beneficial for you. But I wouldn't recommend using your pendulum for everything. I've actually had people that pick up their pendulum first thing in the morning. They're asking questions about, should I do this, should I do that? There's some things you just should decide for on your own. And use the pendulum when you really need to have an intuitive insight and some help. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, be sure to email me at linda@chakralicious.com. CHAKRALICIOUS. Thanks.